A good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a beautiful 21st of August, 2024. Coming to this episode of the Crusty podcast, episode 303, Gratitude and Grievance. Yes, my return from Ontario, spending time with family and friends, and other grievances I have with a certain airline and politicians. Tisk, tisk, tisk. All that more coming to the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to be back. Listener review discretion is advised because I will swear, smoke cigarettes, and just curse the heavens of some of the buffoonery I have encountered over the past 3 weeks. See you in a bit.
Hit it, sweetheart. Because I am hard, you will not like me.
Yes, sir.
There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthless.
From Western Canada, this is the Crusty Canuck podcast, a Canadian veteran's point of view on political, social, economic issues and life. Here's Crusty.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the podcast. A few weeks since I've been here. I've had some video updates and all that good stuff, but as the title card says, Gratitude and Grievance. This podcast is also brought to you in part and supported by Veterans for Freedom Television. That's right, Veterans for Freedom Stand 2. And stay tuned for an update in regards to, or updates, hopefully soon. Veterans Freedom TV coming soon to a podcast outlet near you. Hi, everybody. I'm Crusty Canuck. It's been a few weeks since you've seen my mug, but hey, all is good. I spent about 3 weeks at home back in Ontario with my family and some friends. And I just want to say thank you out there to Radio Reaction and his lovely wife, Paul and Carolyn. Love meeting you. It was we did a collaboration, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't checked out his channel, I'll leave a link in the description for you to follow. You can check out his channel and just see what he's all about and what we're all about and what we talked about and everything. It was kind of cool what we did, how to fix Canada. And make a long story short, we had a good collaboration, a good talk. We had some coffee, talked about politics, Britain, Canada, relations, all that good stuff. And we just did a pretty good video. So hats off and a round of applause to Paul and his lovely wife. You guys are awesome. And I want to say thank you out there, people who have reached out to me during the past 3 weeks. Sorry I couldn't meet all yous. Mr. Dave Hemmington, thank you very much for introducing yourself. It was nice to meet you. Sorry we couldn't get together and have that beer, but you rock. You're a good man. And you can say you've met Crusty Canuck, so it's all good. Sorry about the timings and everything, but my time was limited. I spent whatever time I could with my family in that part of the country, Owen Sound, Ontario, lovely town. A lot of good memories there. So shout out to Owen Sound. All right, shout out to all you wonderful people, my friend Pete, his new girlfriend Becky, and just everybody else who's been in my life, and even the people that never reached out to me. Okay, you guys are awesome too, in your own special way. Anyhow, I had spent some time with my uncle, my aunt, my sisters, and just had a really, really good time, something I really, really needed. And I especially had a great time in Northern Ontario with my father, my stepmother, the cottage there, and just chilling out, doing some manual labor throughout the day, chopping some wood, doing some gardening, that kind of thing, eating fresh vegetables, some fresh fruit, and just really, really putting my feet up and just kicking back. It was a holiday that was well overdue, and I had to take it, but it was something I needed. Get in touch with my roots again, back to my home base, that kind of thing, and just to reflect on things for what they really are, and regardless of what might be coming in the near future or the plight that's going to happen to us Canadians. Who knows? But it was just good to be with the family and friends, nieces, nephews, all that good stuff. Especially the individuals that made their way to come and see me, my stepbrothers especially, the time and effort they took. So I'm grateful. So that's why the title card says Gratitude and Grievances, episode 303, ladies and gentlemen. I am showing some gratitude to my stepbrothers who have given up some of their time share with me, which was nice, and I'm ever so grateful. So I'm showing some gratitude there. Gratitude to my family and friends who did make the effort to come around and say hello, all that good stuff. The microphone keeps slinging here. Anyhow, make a long story short, I had a great time, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm grateful for the little things that everyone has done thus far to make this podcast what it is, and just to make things a lot easier for us to keep things going here. My microphone stand is screwy here. Anyhow, folks, I'm just showing some gratitude for what we have. And I've said in some of my videos there too, to show the positive things, the positive light in what we have. And we have to keep going regardless the manufacturer directors or not. Keep your chins up and question the authorities, question the status quo, all that good stuff. And especially what's going on in Britain right now with all the censorship and people going to jail for saying bad words online in the name of immigration. It puts things in perspective, folks. Is the same doctrine going to come here? I hope not. Let's hope not, for the sake of our sanities here, ladies and gentlemen. But like I say, once again, I am grateful to everybody who has come around and who said hello, and to my family and friends that have made the effort to keep in touch after all these years, too. And to those individuals never bother to keep in touch, well, you know where I am. If you want to find me, you can still find me and talk to me. Don't be shy. You've got my contact information, right? And if for some reason, if you think it's beneath you to say something to me or to talk to me, then that problem is on you, not on me or anybody else. Okay. Because I know what kind of friend I have been to a lot of people out there, and I know where I stand, and I know what I believe in, and what I fought for, and what I'm going to keep fighting for. So keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. Those individuals that just didn't really care to say hello. Anyhow, enough of that whining. I'm just trying to be grateful to the fun times I had. I'm grateful to be back here in Alberta too. Be back to work come Friday, and I'm back to be happy to be back with my wife and to get things on the go again. And make some more money, keep the bills paid, keep the lights on, and to keep creating this podcast for you wonderful people out there. So give yourselves a round of applause. You guys are awesome. And just a reminder too, ladies and gentlemen, if you like and hear to see, click like, subscribe, share this podcast all of your social media platforms. Do not be shy. Don't hesitate to donate if you feel like donating. Please do. I'm on a little quest here to try to make anywhere roughly from $500 to $1,000 a month, just to help out with things, cost of things, and all that too. And that's up to you, you wonderful people. If you want to donate, feel like donating, by all means do. There's links in my description where you can follow and donate at your leisure. If not, that's fine too. You can just, I'll just keep doing the podcast as per. But gratitude is simple. We have to be gracious for some of the things we have. My parents flew me to Ontario to get things on the go, and I had a great time. The flight there, everything was planned. It was about maybe a month and a half. The flight was booked prior to my departure, so there should be no problems or hiccups. But I'll come to the grievances momentarily. But it didn't go off with any problems. I got to the airport okay. I had a friend of mine give me a ride. I had to give him some gas money, but it was worth it. And I just really enjoyed the flight there and the flight back. Well, kind of. Like I said, I'll get to that shortly, ladies and gentlemen. Watch the Olympics. Let's just say I was impressed with some of the Canadian. I was impressed with some of the Canadian athletes, but I was not impressed with the politics of the whole thing. Needless to say, we had some of our athletes kick ass and take some names, which is good. And I'll even give a little salute out there to the breakdancer, Mr. Wizard, who received gold for the bebop or the b-rock, whatever they call it. Anyway, breakdancing, ladies and gentlemen, it's an art form. As far as I'm concerned, it shouldn't be in the Olympics. Excuse me, but he kicked ass and took names, so good for him, Mr. Wizard. But we'll see the next Olympiad if they're going to have ballroom dancing or maybe interpretive dance for all the activists out there. Who knows, hey? Who knows what's going to happen? Anyway, time will tell. But I've rambled on enough about how grateful I am. And I am grateful to the people in my life so far. And I'm even grateful to people that haven't shown me any gratitude. So you guys know who you are. Right back after this.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
And you're back, ladies and gentlemen, the Crusty Canuck podcast. I'm your host, Crusty Canuck. This episode is Gratitude and Grievance. That's right. So I've been explaining the gratitude I have, or still have, for family and friends. Now let's get to the meat and potatoes and the grievance. And just one more reminder, if you like and hear what you see, please click like and subscribe. Do not hesitate. And please consider donating too. Like, share, all that stuff. Comment every time you see this, whether you see on the Tube or Rumble or on Facebook or on Twitter. Don't be shy, ladies and gentlemen. Just get out there, get your words out there. Help us Canucks get the algorithm going so us Canadian creators can get our words out there and people can think for themselves as they should. So another round of thank yous to Paul and his wife, Radio Reaction, Dave Hamilton, and everybody else who introduced themselves during my holiday. I am very, very grateful. Thank you very much for your kind words and support, and keep on liking, subscribing, share it all over the place. And those people out there haven't showed me any time of day. You know who you are, and I'm not going to sit and dwell on things and all that too. I've reached out to many people over the past 10 years, and not too many people have given me responses back other than my friends and my family and the people that actually make the effort to say, hello, Crusty, how are you? You know what I mean? But I'm not going to keep dwelling. Anyhow, now it's up to the grievances, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. I'm having some issues with my microphone here. I guess you can say it has been a few weeks, so I should have went over this thing with a fine-tooth comb. Needless to say, I'm just trying to keep it steady so I don't have to sit here and look like some kind of overblown broadcaster covering some serious sporting event. Needless to say, my grievance is simple. Okay. Now, I took Air Canada. Okay. I took Air Canada. The flight was bought for me. I'm not dissing my parents for giving me a good flight. Like I said, when I arrived at the airport in Edmonton, everything went smooth. You know, security checks, all that good stuff. Everything was fantastic. Everything was hunky-dory. You know, I managed to bring the luggage I needed with me and the luggage I brought back, all that good stuff. But here's the kicker. Now, it was about a month and a half when my stepmother and my father booked these flights for me. My to there and my back, return, all that good stuff, okay? Now, at 6:30 in the morning yesterday, Eastern Standard Time, I received an email that the flights have changed. Okay, I understand delays. I've been delayed before in other airlines. Don't worry. Okay, I'm not devastated because of one delay. What pissed me off throughout the whole day was there were 3 delays for the one flight from North Bay to Toronto, and then another 3 delays from Toronto to Edmonton. So it was frustrating. Now, the thing is that Air Canada apparently had this all over the country. There was all this crap going on Canada-wide, apparently. You know, from what I understood from other passengers and other staff at both airports, there were some issues with this whole thing. Now, apparently there might be a strike in the works. Okay. Now, we've had enough strikes over the years to understand that there's always going to be a grievance no matter what. What it usually comes down to is the union grievances. Now, from what I understand, airline pilots make a pretty penny. Now, I'm not dissing the skill and the craftsmanship and the responsibility that these pilots do have when it comes to getting people to point A to point B across the country, across the continent, and across the globe, or all over the globe for that matter. What I do have a grievance is that when you have customers paying top dollar, especially for Canada's #1 airline, Air Canada, right? And you don't have the courtesy of getting your shit in order, customers get frustrated. Now, you heard me ramble on about my TV provider screwing around, okay? Both my wife and I, we have talked to 3 different people at each occasion to get my television sorted out. And what it came down to was a technical issue within our remote, okay? Our remote. And would you think that the powers that be at said television provider could give us that information? Would you think that? Not a chance. Okay. So the amount of times that I complained and I bitched and moaned, and the amount of times my wife complained and bitched and moaned to these individuals that we pay to give us a good television service, not one of them could come up with a viable solution to give us a hand to figure a simple thing out. But instead, they did send a tech like we asked for, and he maybe did 10 minutes or so of work to show us how to do something, which in turn is going to cost me roughly $75 because of his services. All because the powers that be in this big corporation that owns CTV and gave themselves a healthy raise couldn't hire 6 people to tell us what the F was going on. So what's that tell you, folks? So then that reminds me, because of the incompetency of certain individuals at Air Canada, okay, delaying a simple flight 3 times. So originally I had a flight planned for 10 o'clock. Then it was 10:30. Then it was 1:30. Then it was 1:50. And then it was 2:20. And eventually we got in the air roughly about a quarter after 3. So I sat at that airport where I could have spent more time with my family, driving around North Bay, hanging out, you know, being there for them, you know, thinking that, oh, I better get here because I got this flight at this time. Right? Another 5.5 hours gone, waiting for a plane. Right? Now, when I got to Toronto, same thing. Midair, I get a text. I should have had airplane mode on. Oh, my bad, Crusty. How dare you? I should have had airplane mode on, but needless to say, I received another text saying flight in Toronto to Edmonton is delayed another 20 minutes. Oh, great. So I know all this crap before. Now, the rumors were that there wasn't enough crew or another technical issue. Now, I heard the term technical issue about 7 times in regards to the North Bay flights and in regards to the Toronto flights. And then it came down to the crew issue. So here's this big fucking airline that has all these wonderful bells and whistles and great commercials and great safety videos. And they couldn't get their shit together to tell the passengers what the fuck was going on. Right? But hey, guess what? For my trouble waiting for North Bay, you know what they gave me? Okay. Look at this, folks. Oh, look at that. That's a pretty piece of paper, isn't it? Oh, my God. It's a voucher. It's a meal voucher. Oh, joy. Smack my ass and call me Judy. For all my troubles and inconveniences, they couldn't fucking muster up $25. But no, I got fucking $15. Now, what does $15 get you in an airport? Slap and tickle for someone else's pickle? Hey, a coffee and a reach around? Maybe a donut or a latte if you're lucky? Maybe a bowl of chili, a bun, who knows? It gets you sweet fuck all in modern airports today, ladies and gentlemen. Might get you a parking voucher for another trip, right? But this is all they can goddamn come up with. A $15 effing fucking voucher. Really? So it doesn't matter if I paid for the flight or my parents paid for the flight or if other people pay for a flight or if your job pays for the flight, they fucked you around because they couldn't get their shit together, right? So that's my grievance, ladies and gentlemen, with the airline. Because I could have been home last night, roughly around 5 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. But no, because of the skull fuckery they promoted and the bullshit and the politics, right? And the basically trying to save face in the midst of bullshit. Okay. I didn't get home till about 1:30. Okay. Now, I'm great to be home and I'm grateful for the opportunity of seeing my family. Okay. But you look at the airlines in this country and what it costs to fly within the country. It would have been cheaper for me to fly to Britain than to fly around Canada. It would have been cheaper for my family to send me to Britain and send me back. I probably would have had better connection, right? When you look at this buffoonery that has been instilled in us, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Another grievance I have too is that more and more of these unions are starting to speak up. Again, more unions are starting to come out of the woodwork again. Okay. Now, I did have a video queued up here with Fred Hahn of QP out of Ontario. Now, this Fred Hahn guy, obviously he's homosexual. I personally don't care what his preference is. It's none of my concern, but he's a union boss. Okay. And he's been going on these anti-Semitic rants quite a bit. And his excuse is that he represents 290,000 workers. Okay. Well, if you represent 290,000 workers, Mr. Frederick Hahn, you should keep your political opinions to yourself and worry about the benefit of those 290,000 workers you represent. It's shit simple. But I guess shit simple is too hard these days, right? Because you have to reinvent words and reinvent politics for the sake of your union, right? I always understand unions as representing the workers and staying by the workers, not your own political dogma. So, Mr. Fred Hahn, up yours. Yeah. You know what? Anyway, enough of that anger. I'm still pissed off over this $15 voucher. Ooh, well, you inconvenience me for about 6 hours and I get $15, eh? Ooh, wow. Oh, big spenders, eh? Oh, wow, that's great. You cheap bastards. So, needless to say, I won't be flying with you clowns ever again.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
And ladies and gentlemen, you're back to episode 303 of the Crusty Canuck podcast, Gratitude and Grievance. I'm your host, Crusty Canuck, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome all back. It's good to be back in Alberta. I am glad I had such a great holiday with family and friends, especially got to see my old high school friend, Peter, and hang out with him and his new girlfriend, and Robin, and I forget the other people we were hanging out with, but it was pretty fast and furious those few days, but good times had to be had. I also went and visited some of my fallen family members. I went to see my mother's grave, great aunt's grave, and my grandparents' grave, and I actually cracked open a beer, and I sat by my grandfather's grave and shared a beer with him. You know, that's something he liked. When I got in the military, he enjoyed that because he did his time during World War II, and he liked the fact that I was making a career out of this service. And we always crack a beer and shoot the breeze about his experiences and my experiences, that kind of thing, that kind of bonding. So when I went and visited his grave, I cracked a beer and I poured some down, one for me, one for my homie, that kind of thing. And just reflected on some pretty cool things. I mean, long story short, it was nice to go to see the family, hang out, get back in touch with the important things in life, ladies and gentlemen, your family. Whoever is your family, it doesn't matter. Color, creed, gender, identity, sexuality, it doesn't matter. Whoever is your family. Keep that bond alive, ladies and gentlemen. Keep that bond strong, keep that bond real, and keep it pure to the best of your ability, because it just warms your heart. Now, enough of this drum circle hippie stuff. But I think you all know what I mean. And I'm very, very grateful that I had the opportunity to go home and to touch base again. I got to drink some homemade liquor, which was kind of cool, because the government gets enough of that already. Leave the homemade stuff alone. And like I said, touch base with some of my aunts and uncles too. So that was good again. So, but the grievance is always, of course, the Air Canada thing and my TV provider, and what's going to be coming in the next few months, ladies and gentlemen. So be prepared for that. But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I have been Crusty Canuck on this beautiful 21st of August, 2024. I know this episode is kind of short and sweet. It's been a few weeks, but like I said, I've showed some gratitude and I've showed some grievance to you wonderful people out there. Just a reminder, too, if you like and hear what you see, click like and subscribe, share this content, all of your social media platforms. Do not be shy, and please give me a comment and give me a thumbs up if you see this on the tube and on Rumble, respectively, too. The more comments, the more thumbs up. Spread it around. It helps us Canadian creators get our content out there. So the powers that be will never, ever, ever try to promote C63 ever again. But it takes wonderful people like you to make that happen, too. But like I say, do what you can to help you out in these trying times. I'm back to work on Friday, so I will try to get an episode up probably Friday evening or sometime Saturday. But I'm back in the mold again. And like I said, on Radio Reactions channel, I'm going to try to get episodes up at least consistently 3 times a week. But depending on my work schedule, it might be difficult. But still, ladies and gentlemen, I'll get the words out there for you all. To the best of my ability, too. Summer's winding down, but don't let that bring you down. Still go out and enjoy the sunshine, time with family and friends. Enjoy the sun, enjoy the warm weather before you know it. It's going to be right? We've all heard that story before, but it comes quicker than you think. Needless to say, do what you can to help each other in these trying times. Be good to each other. Keep your chins up. Question the status quo, right? Formulate your own opinion. Formulate your own decisions under your jurisdiction, no one else's. And like I always say, ladies and gentlemen, humanity and merit wins the day. Take care, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.
Hit it, sweetheart. Because I am hard, you will not like me.
Yes, sir.
There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthless.
This has been another episode of the Crusty Canuck podcast. Stay sane and thank you for listening. From Western Canada, this is the Crusty Canuck podcast.
Well, smack my ass and call me Judy.